I'm Anderson Hurst. Domination.
And it's your boy Robert Turbin, aka Turbo, and I second that. That was a complete ass whooping.
Hey 12, it's the Seahawks squad. Everything Seattle Seahawks every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the Emerald City. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get loud, 12s. The Seahawks Squad Show starts now.
What up, 12s? Seahawks with an absolutely dominating performance against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Divisional game. Just all phases of the game from start to finish and just put the ass whooping on the 49ers, 41-6 for the same exact margin of victory, Robert Turbin, as Super Bowl 48 against the Denver Broncos. And as someone who played in that game, did it give you any flashbacks, this game? Huh?
Oh, from the start.
Yeah.
From the jump. I'm not even lying. I'm not even going. When Rashid Shaheed took the opening kickoff to the crib, I was like, yo, this feel like Super Bowl against the Broncos. 100%.
Yeah.
And you just knew from that time going forward, the 49ers really had no chance. Did they have a chance? Absolutely. But you just felt like they had no chance from the opening kickoff. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I apologize in advance, guys. My voice is a little raspy, and there's a reason why it's a little raspy. Is because I was there. I was in the stadium, and when Rashid Shaheed took that back, and I know they threw the flag, and there was no question in anyone's mind that there was a penalty on the Seahawks. It was always that kind of a dirty play by the kicker there to try and trip him up as he's going to the end zone. But it just we had the feeling, all right, it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games today. And I think they just proved that they're the better football team.
Did we break any records, by the way? Like, I know you were in the stands, you were yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been a part of I'm telling you right now, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, okay? I'm talking about being on the sideline, talking to a teammate. We as close as you and I on this screen.
Yep.
And I have to yell at him for him to hear me when we're talking to each other. How loud it is. It used to be the Link. Now, obviously, it's Lumen Field. So I got to know, did we break any records tonight? Like, what was it like in the atmosphere?
Supposedly, according to our chat, it looks like there was a quote-unquote quake from that play. Honestly, it felt like it, man. Everyone was going nuts. I was screaming my face off. It felt like, I know there's been some talk about, we need to get Lumen Field back to what it used to be. And I think it really picked up towards the second half of this year. But this game, solidified that it is truly back. It is the number one home field advantage in the NFL, and we own it for the NFC Championship game. We find out who we play tomorrow as the Chicago Bears host the Rams. Go ahead, Turbo.
Let me tell you this real quick. I got a friend of mine that was at the game.
Yeah.
His name is Jake Gaden, all right? He's the host of CBS Channel 13 here in Sacramento, the local television show. I'll usually do some post-game analysis with them, all right? And we mainly talk about Niners and Raiders because that's the market here. But obviously, we'll get around the league. Because he covers the Niners, he was at the game. And he'd never been to Seattle before. Not even just to go, okay?
Yep.
So he was hitting me up before the game. The day before, he was asking me about restaurants and stuff like that to go to. Okay, I was giving him some advice. But I was telling him, I said, look, this is, if you've ever been on the road before, this is different. He was in Philly last week.
Yep.
You're going to experience, I don't want to over-exaggerate it, but I'm just telling you from experience, this is going to be different. So I texted him during the game. I asked him, did I oversell the electricity of the stadium and the fans, or was it for real? And he said palpable. The place shook.
Yeah.
That's why we the 12s, baby.
Yeah,
That's why
and
we the 12.
it's just the perfect way to start that game, because my God, it just felt like the energy leading up to the game. I feel like there's confidence, but it's almost like hey, we know the Niners are a good team, so it's not like we're overconfident in this game in terms from a fan perspective. You know that threat is always there.
You respect
But,
every
man,
opponent.
Yeah. And it once that Rashid Shaheed kickoff, man alive, it just felt like just belt to ass for the
Okay, Michael Irvin. Where the belt at? Let me see. You don't know nothing about that, man.
It's true though.
Me.
It just felt like it was not even. It wasn't even the same level of play. I don't know. What's up?
Not to change the subject, but I see you got the Richard Sherman jersey on now. And we I don't know if you saw on X.
Yeah.
Last couple days. Where we at? Where are we at, Anders? Sherman's at the game now. Probably got his Seahawks hat on right now.
Yeah. I'm someone who can understand a player's, when you have an affinity towards a team and then it doesn't end the way you want it to, like it did with Richard Sherman, and then you go to the rival and you go to the Super Bowl with that rival. I still have more than only good memories with Richard Sherman as a Seattle Seahawk. Now, granted, this is my only Seahawks jersey. Turbo, you got to hook me up with a Robert Turbin jersey.
You need a jersey? What? Send me the Addy. Send me the address.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, what we should do is we should do some sort of like something with our listeners, and I'll send them a jersey.
That's a great call. I think that's a great thing to do during the off season. I think that's a great call. We'll talk with Corbin and Rob and Chris about that. Figure something out. But man. Okay, where do we start with this game? I realize I put the wrong background on. This is from earlier in the week's show, but it is what it is, guys. We're breaking down a Seahawks victory 41-6 over the 49ers. After that kickoff return, it's all blurring together for me, to be completely honest. You have the interception by Ernest Jones. You have the sack on 4th down by Leonard Williams. This defense, let's start there. Let's start with this defense. I mean, I realized they didn't have George Kittle, but you did have Trent Williams. And honestly, if we're talking impact on the game, I know George Kittle does stuff both in the passing and running game, but I would almost put Trent Williams, who was out in the Week 18 game, who is in this game, and then George Kittle vice versa. I would almost put his impact on a similar level to George Kittle. So the excuses of like, we didn't have George Kittle, like that's why we weren't as effective offensively in this game. I'm calling BS on that. Like the Seahawks just dominated. And it's another chapter in the Mike McDonald destroying Kyle Shanahan on that side of the ball. So Turbo, what'd you see from the defense?
Well, listen, the defense to me, what excels when you watch them is that they are ultra disciplined. How many penalties defense have tonight? None. I can't remember not one penalty.
I'm trying to think of one. I don't know if they did.
Offside, defensive holding, roughing the passer. Like the common penalties that you see, especially in the secondary.
Yeah.
They just didn't exist. Face mask, like especially when you're talking about like an aggressive defense that like the Seahawks have. Sometimes you get caught up in like a roughing the passer because you get a little. These guys are so disciplined in everything they do. They take each play as its own. Each play is its own one play. Doesn't matter what down it is. That's why I go back to what I said before about the defense. They don't play the game like the game. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd down, 2nd down, 3rd quarter. They play the rep. This is practice reps. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is our rep right here.
Yep.
We have an opportunity to execute this rep right here. Doesn't matter what happened last play. We don't care about the play that's coming next. This is the one rep that we have. And that's how they play. And I think that's how they're able to execute at such a high level. They're so dialed in. They have such great tunnel vision and such great ability to compartmentalize this one single opportunity. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 7, 1st and 12, whatever it is. It's the one single opportunity that they're keying on to execute at their best level. And that's what, to me, stands out about the defense. And it's just impressive, man. It's super fun to watch. I tweeted, I said, you know what, this game was more fun to watch. And I will say that there's some bias in that because obviously, I played for the Seahawks, but this was more fun to watch than some of the games that come down to the 4th quarter so far in these playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the defense, man, they were just excellent.
We got LOL with us. Is that Chris Crawford? Chris Crawford. Welcome.
LOL. What that stand for?
Oh, it's laughing out loud. I wanted to put.
Okay.
I would love to put BTA because that's what we talked about in the chat, didn't we? And that was belt to. Assuming the Seahawks play well, they should be able to win the Super Bowl.
Man, I was belt to ass, man.
Yes,
you ain't got to sugarcoat
yes, it was,
Seahawks
my
squad
friend.
Show, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Say what we need to say.
Real quick, I want to congratulate the 49ers, man. Doubling your point total is really difficult to do. And just congratulations, guys. You doubled your point total from 3 to 6. And I just really want to congratulate you guys.
Okay.
Like,
damn, like it's like that. That's mean, bro.
It is,
on, dog.
It is. But it's accurate. I'm just telling the truth. Just telling the truth, guys. You cut.
Let me tell you something. You guys can agree with this because Chris, you talking some smack, and and rightfully so because the 49er fans. Listen, I went to my son's basketball game this morning. You guys know I'm in Sacramento because a lot of 49er fans are here.
Sure.
One of the coaches, I'm talking about, dripped out, all red.
Okay.
I thought he was blood. Okay. San Francisco, he had the chain on and everything.
Man.
I'm like, we here for a basketball game. The 49er game ain't even until tonight. Relax. So I get the trash talk. But listen, the Niners, I think that there is, we can sort of come to like a handshake.
Yeah.
With the Niners, and, for them to even be in this game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can at least, even as the enemy. Yeah. We can at least be like, you know what? That was pretty impressive what you guys did this season.
No question about it. The amount of injuries that they had, Mike Shanahan's a really good football coach. I don't think he coached a very good football game tonight, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think there were some play calls tonight. Turbo, I want to talk to you about that 4th and 1 play call all night long because I hated it.
The first one.
The very first one, that use check option play, I just absolutely hated it.
Redfish, hello.
But like, I loved it because it didn't work.
It sure didn't. I loved it from that point. Yeah, I was trying to be a little neutral for just a second, and but man, oh man, this was.
I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah,
that play. Mm-hmm. This is the mastermind.
Yeah,
of Mike McDonald.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie, because what happened before the use check play? The 49ers they go spread.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the backfield is just Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And right before the snap.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald called timeout.
Yeah.
That's not because they weren't ready.
Nope.
No.
Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
That's strategic. Let me get them out of their element. That's what we call a Kodak moment.
There you go.
Take a picture. No, seriously.
No,
call it Kodak. Right. You want to take a picture of what they're going to align in, call timeout. Okay, now we can adjust our defense and match. But because Mike McDonald did that, now Kyle Shanahan's like, damn, what's the next? I wasn't really prepared for the next play.
Right.
So they had to try like some trickery stuff. And We ready for that.
This
Yeah,
might
ready
be,
for that.
guys, hot take. This might be the best coached football team that I've ever seen. I'm not like, I don't think it's hyperbole
I don't
to
hate
say
it.
that.
I don't hate it.
Turbo, your guys is, I understand that your guys' Super Bowl 48 team was extremely well coached as well.
Sure.
But I think the talent on that team was what kind of took it over the top.
Exactly.
You spoke it in the beginning of this, right before Chris hopped on. It's the discipline, the playing every rep exactly how they're supposed to every single time. 0 missed assignments, 0 missed tackles. Even on offense, there's a couple weird things here and there, but my God, these guys, like, it just seems like you have to play a perfect game to beat the Seahawks. And even if you play a perfect game, you have to have everything go right. You have to get every fourth down and everything. It's just so hard to beat them.
Right. See, Pete was a motivator.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a motivator. And then we had guys that were, really special.
Yeah.
I've been on other platforms. I talked about guys like Josh Allen. I thought they were going to win tonight because I thought he had the ability to take his team above regardless of what they may lack as a unit. I feel that way about Marshawn. I feel like if we didn't have Marshawn, I don't know if we have the same amount of success as a team, because they're just guys that are just special.
They're that good.
And so Pete was a motivator. Where I feel like Mike McDonald is actually like technical with this shit. I mean, I'm bad. Yeah, I'm passionate. I get passionate.
You're good.
I'm
no,
sorry.
we got you. Don't worry about it.
But he's technical with it. He's tactical with the game plan and how to attack and how to approach and the film study and matching with personnel and structure the defense and all those things. I think it's a little bit different. And so I'm with you, Anders. As far as being like the best coached team, it's hard to argue that.
Yeah. And it's just like you compare even like we talked about it before with the Coach of the Year stuff. I think Kyle Shanahan's a fantastic coach. And Chris, I think totally agree with you. I don't think he got a great night tonight, but I think he had to kind of get out of his element a little bit because he knew
there's no question.
It was over.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was over, bro. What was he supposed to do?
The first play of the game, guys, like the literal first play of the game, that was enough for the Seahawks to win tonight. That was literally
when it was over.
Yeah.
When Jake Tonjes fumbled that football.
Yeah.
Over.
It's done.
It was a wrap.
It was done. It was done, man. And because there was just no way they were going to score. At most, they were going to get a couple tutties tonight, right? But as soon as Seattle put that together, built that 17-0 lead in the first quarter, it was done. It was coast from that point on. Coast. And I'm so glad the tactical thing you brought up there, Turbo, like there are too many, in my humble estimation, all 22 guys out there. Like so many people who are just breaking down film that maybe shouldn't be breaking down film. I understand. Go get your bag and all that stuff. But so many of them get so excited to watch Seahawk, all 22, to get to break down this defense, to watch what Nick Emanwari is doing, to watch what DeMarcus Lawrence is doing, to watch how they scheme these things. He's the best defensive coach in football, and it's not even close. It's not even close. All due respect to D'Amico Ryans, and, I think the over-under on the Seahawks-Texans Super Bowl might be like 18.5, because both those units can really play. But the tactical mastermind that is Mike McDonald, oh my gosh, it's not the most exciting. I wrote about this for the Seattle Met. Pete Carroll would say things in press conferences about his practice squad that would have media members wanting to run through a wall for him, right? Like he just had that way. Mike McDonald is boring, but it's exciting boring because
mad scientist.
He's mad scientist is a great way to put it. He just knows exactly what the other teams are going to do. He is just an absolute tactician, and then he coaches these guys up so freaking well. I love you, Mike McDonald. Let's open like a sandwich shop together, man. Let's do it. I will invest whatever I need to. Yeah.
What's gonna be like the number? What's like the primary?
Ooh, we're definitely doing some capicola. We're definitely we're gonna do capicola is like a spice ham. Most people call it gabagool. You know, if you hear
spicy
it on
ham, capicola is spicy ham.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good.
Wow, I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out McConey's in Lacey, Washington. That's where I first learned about it. But
great,
dude. He is. I don't think it's hyperbolic to call him the best coach in the NFL. I don't think it is, because what he does game plan wise, the adjustments that he makes too, like the adjustments are perfect.
Yeah,
they're absolutely perfect. And shout out to all the coaches. And there's a very good chance that a couple of those coaches won't be in Seattle next year. There's a very good chance. Mike McDonald's going to be back, and that makes me pretty happy. But we'll talk about that another time. There's still a couple more games to win.
Hopefully. Well, and you compare, like we talked about the discipline, like I can't remember a penalty on the defense. Maybe there's one or two against the offense. I think a couple false starts here and there.
Yeah.
But you compare that to the Niners towards the end of the game, where they just started doing
they fell apart.
Weird crap left and right. And the whole Lenore situation, the Jawan Jennings saying that he wanted the Seahawks.
Jawan Jennings.
Be careful what you wish for there, brother. Just be careful what you wish for. Oh, man.
Oh, it's so funny. Watching him, and I know Woolen made a really good play on the ball.
Sure.
But watching him drop that pass was just chef's kiss. Absolute chef kiss on an absolute dominating win.
Yeah, huge win for the Seahawks, 41-6 in the divisional round against the 49ers. So, guys, when we come back, I want to talk about the quarterback. We were a little afraid that we were going to have to see Drew Lock in this game. We did see Drew Lock in this game, but for not the same reason that we were afraid of.
And I also have a question for you guys, too.
Yeah.
Like down the road, when we get back to the defense,
I
want to ask you guys something.
Okay.
Great.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm holding you to that. You better remember that, okay?
Yes, sir.
I will.
Okay. We'll talk some quarterback talk on the other side of the break here on the Seahawks Squad Show after a huge divisional win against the 49ers. The draft picks positions are set, and so many teams are looking for their first franchise quarterback. Ever wish to become a pro QB? Getting drafted first overall by the Seattle Seahawks or the Houston Texans or the Las Vegas Raiders, whoever you want. Well, now you can. There's a mobile game just for you called Ultimate QB Football Legend. In this game, you step into the cleats of a number one draft pick quarterback, and it's your job to lead your team to greatness to help turn a failing franchise into a dynasty. This is the number one QB career mode game on the mobile app stores, and it introduces the most realistic environment with full career control. Sign contracts, train and upgrade yourself, build chemistry, and evolve your teammates. Give input to your GM on roster moves, play the actual games in 2D, and rise through the ranks to become a football legend. You'll deal with the ups and downs of a QB career, from rookie nerves to playoff drama, and every choice shapes your journey. Ultimate QB is totally free to play, has no ads, and works 100% offline. Perfect for when you want to sneak in a quick game or two on the go. Just head over to ultimate-qb.com. That's ultimate-qb.com, or search for Ultimate QB in your app store. And we've got something special just for you guys. Use the promo code LOCKEDON, all caps, in the game's store to get a free boost at the start of your career. Ultimate QB Football Legend. QB1. It's your legacy. Welcome back. Seahawks Squad Show after a 41-6 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Boy, I would have loved a safety on either side, so it would be 43-8. But, you know, it is what it is. Still the same margin of victory. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Guys, I mentioned off the top that there was a lot of talk with the Sam Darnold Drew Lock situation. Even leading up to the game, there was like, oh, he hasn't thrown a football since he has this injury. There was all these storylines coming out. And Chris and Turbo, you guys both mentioned this about Mike McDonald, about his little mind games that he plays when he took the timeout right before the fourth down play. Mm-hmm. This was 100% that, in my opinion, because Sam Darnold looked fine in this game. There were a couple throws where he didn't look 100% comfortable. Right. So I'm sure there's something that he's dealing with, but I don't think there was any doubt in anyone's mind that Sam Darnold was playing this game. They just happened to hype it up a little bit more to make Kyle Shanahan prepare for something else. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's talk about Sam Darnold's performance, though. Because you look at the box score, I think it was like 140 something yards with a touchdown. Not amazing. A 12 of 17, I think his completion and attempts were. Like, he didn't light it up. I think actually Brock Purdy had more yards, but like I've said this multiple times, especially in the second half of the season. He did everything you needed him to do today to win the football game. And that's all you can ask from your starting quarterback. Turbo, how did you feel Sam Darnold played today?
I thought he played fine. I thought it was fine. And look, the injury thing, people have to understand the NFL has rules.
Yes.
So even if you have a headache, you got to tell the league, and they got to report it.
Yeah.
That is all that was.
Yeah.
That's all that was. Because if you don't, then you are susceptible to fines. You could potentially lose a draft pick. All those things. The Seahawks were just doing their due diligence and doing right by the rules of the NFL. So, okay, what do you got? You got something going on with your oblique? Okay, we got to report it. We got to tell the league, and they can do what they want with it after that, whether it's serious or minor. Okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's number one. Number two, obviously, we all knew he was going to play. I don't think there was a chance that he wouldn't, and he played fine. The thing that Sam Darnold does really well is that he is one of those guys that allows the game to kind of come to him. So what I mean by that is he does what's needed.
Yeah.
Tonight, he didn't need to be the 300-yard, 3-touchdown quarterback. He didn't need to be that guy. Because everything else, defense, special teams, running game, everything else was rocking.
Yep.
So he just was the leader that he's been all season, calling the plays, conducting the huddle, commanding the line of scrimmage. I thought he was awesome tonight, man.
Yeah.
He didn't put the ball in harm's way, at all. He was safe with it. Like, he was tough. He took a big sack. You saw him grimacing a little bit.
Yeah.
Going back to this is a good football player and a championship capable quarterback.
Totally.
And I thought he played like that tonight.
Absolutely. Chris, how awesome was that throw to JSN for the touchdown?
Oh, my goodness. So there are three throws I want to talk about because there were three throws that Sam Darnold made tonight that were elite. The first one is it may have been the pass right before the touchdown. It was right before it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he takes the sack, and it was a bad sack. Kenneth Walker didn't do a very good job picking up the blitz, but the football should have been out. Got to throw that football away. The very next play, he throws an absolute seed to Cooper Kupp. And by the way, best game for Cooper Kupp is the Seattle Seahawks, and it's not even close. Not even close. He was absolutely terrific tonight. Maybe I had somebody suggesting to me he was kind of like slow playing it like the old Lakers, like that they just say, hey, I'm just waiting for the postseason to really turn things on. But that throw on 2nd and 20 was an absolute seed to set them up for that position. Then that throw to JSN on the touchdown, rolling the opposite way, leads him perfectly into the end zone.
Over two defenders.
And, that puts you up 17-0, and you're feeling really good. But my favorite throw, it's not the fourth quarter. It's your 2-minute warning, and it's 3rd and 10. And he had missed on a throw before that. And Jake Bobo is who he finds over the middle on a perfect throw over the middle that guaranteed you were going to get points, and then ultimately you score the touchdown. Yeah. That's 3 elite throws. And guys, he only had 12 completions. So 3 of his completions, and there were some other good throws too, don't get it twisted. Yeah. But that's 25% of his throws were throws that upper echelon quarterbacks make.
Yeah.
He was more game manager than not. And that has more to do with the fact that it would be silly to not make him a game manager.
Yes.
Why would you risk it when you're belting this team, right? When you're mollywopping, you want to continue the mollywop, so you might as well run the football, right? Especially with, we can talk about the offensive line tonight for an hour and a half. But he was game manager not because the Seahawks needed Sam Darnold to be a game manager. He became a game manager because of situation. he became game manager because you weren't going to air it out once you build that big lead. No mistakes. There was one throw that was risky over the middle to Cup, but it goes right over the hand of the defender. Boy, the oblique clearly wasn't affecting the arm strength, right? Because like he was making some absolute dots tonight. Yeah. I was really impressed with what I saw from Sam Darnold, and you can't say Sam Darnold can't win the big game anymore. You just can't, because what he did against the Rams, what he did against the 49ers, and he was fantastic against the 49ers, by the way, in the previous one. I know they didn't score a bunch of points. That's not on Sam Darnold. That's on just not getting stuff done once you get inside of the red zone. Yeah. And he was fantastic tonight. Those are 3 massive football wins. I understand there'll be questions until he literally wins the Super Bowl, right? They'll be, can he win the big one? These are big ones, though. They just don't have the same sports talking head level that the other ones do. I thought Sam Darnold was terrific tonight.
Yeah. And go ahead, Turbo. You're going to say something.
Well, I would just, here's what I'll say is that sometimes the quarterback, obviously, it's like, man, they get all of the attention. Everything goes to the quarterback, right? And I think sometimes it's okay to accept the fact that it ain't about him.
No.
Yeah, fair.
Because this team reminds me of, was it 2002, 2003 Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Who was the quarterback? I think it was like Brad
Check down Brad Johnson, yep.
But the defense was crazy. Rondé Barber, the run game was awesome.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, and Brad was like, he was a good quarterback, a Super Bowl quarterback, man. The guy that could just boom, 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 make some plays. You know what I mean? And my point is, sometimes it's like it's like, oh, Sam Darnold, can he do it? Is it him? Sometimes like, look, man, this defense is out of this world.
Yeah.
And we got JSN, we got other guys who can make plays.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that's all you need.
Yep.
You don't need Josh Allen to play quarterback or Mahomes or whatever. You know what I mean?
No.
You don't need this guy that's going to get all the attention.
Right.
And I just think that he plays the game just right for the Seahawks to continue winning.
Yeah, sure. And it's worth pointing out, Chris, with the big game comment. I totally agree. But this is his first playoff win his entire career.
Yeah,
which is it's pretty weird to think that, but it's true. Yeah, he hasn't had a ton of opportunities.
No, that's what I was going to say too. Is like, first of all, playing for the Jets, it means that you're literally not allowed to win a playoff game. Like that's just the law. And then 1 year with the Panthers, and then back up and it's a law. It's a law.
Dang. That to me sounds like the Jets need to like move. They need to do what the Brooklyn Nets did and move to Brooklyn.
Yeah, dude.
The Brooklyn Jets or something.
Dude, you can't have 2 teams in New Jersey and expect both.
I'm gonna buy the team one day.
Yeah,
I need this crypto. I need crypto to do something crazy.
There you
something
go.
Crazy for me.
There you go. Perfect. But like, man. That's a fair point. First playoff win, but everything I've seen from Sam Darnold in these big games, and was the game against the Rams on Thursday night a playoff game? Not technically, but yes, it was.
And you win that game, the one against the Niners in Week 18 too.
Same with the 49ers game, right? Yeah. You don't win that game, you don't get home field advantage. You don't win the division. You're going to play in Philadelphia, right? So I just feel really confident in what I've seen from Sam Darnold lately, and it's just nice to shut some people up. You know what I mean? Some people who make their living off of just having hot takes. You know what I'm saying? And that's my least favorite type of sports journalism. I love hot takes too. I'll watch them here and there and laugh at them. And sometimes it's fun when they become memes and whatnot. But like, if you have watched Sam Darnold play this year outside of one game, and it was a clunker. Oh, it was ever so clunkerific. But outside of that, Sam Darnold has been a really good quarterback in the year of our Lord 2025/2026.
What's interesting to me is like, we have this conversation about Darnold, and rightfully so, because he is He's a quarterback, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's other guys on this team heading into the season that we kind of have some question marks about.
100%.
Question about it.
That have really actually, you talk
Then
about
elite.
shut up the doubters or, and have really, like Tariq Woolen was a guy who was like,
God.
and that's my boy, that's my dog.
Boy, that's so fun.
Is he going to get traded? Is he,
Even JSN to an extent was like, can he be a number one?
Can he be the one, right?
Yeah.
Can he extend the field? DeMarcus Lawrence, a lot of people thought that he was like past his prime. DeMarcus Lawrence.
I know you didn't turbo, but there were other people
not
that
for a
did.
single moment. Not for a single moment.
That's my favorite Seattle Seahawk in process and result. That is my all-time favorite Seattle Seahawk free agent signing. But
Bradford's been great the last couple weeks. We're going to talk about running game and O-line next segment.
Yeah.
So wait to go there.
Yeah, let's talk about it in the next segment. But yeah, it's very similar to the Mariners to me in that there are a lot of redemption arcs. Yeah. There are a lot of guys who they just didn't have we didn't have that confidence, and all they have done is shut everyone up, and it's delightful.
One word for the reason for that for me. Coaching.
Yeah, fair.
Coaching, bro.
Totally fair.
Coaching.
All comes down to that. All comes down to that. Like, seriously. Like, it's
no doubt.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. There's another person on that sort of redemption arc. I feel like there were some question marks about him coming into the day. He got the hat trick today, Mr. Kenneth Walker.
Gosh.
Man, when we needed him most, when Charbonnet went down injured, it's like, uh-oh, are we going to be able to rely on K9 like as a dog now, like as the guy? And boy, could we rely on K9 because he was fantastic today, like borderline best performance as a Seattle Seahawk, especially when you consider the circumstances. But let's talk about him. And another big question mark going into the season was the offensive line, guys. They dominated the line of scrimmage today. Absolutely dominated the line of scrimmage. So let's give them some props as well. We'll talk running game and O-line here on the other side of the Seahawks Squad Show right after a 41-6 victory over the so sweet San Francisco 49ers. It was so good to watch those guys walking out of the stadium. Hey, they were going when I was going. I had to leave at the end of the third quarter to get back here in time to get the show. Yeah. It was great to see basically only 49ers fans walking out of that. That was beautiful. So great. All right, we'll be right back. We'll chat some more about O-line and K9 on the way back. The wild card round is here. Well, actually, the divisional round is here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. Every game day during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving customers even more ways to get in on the action because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts you can apply to the bets that you like the most. Open your profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boosts you want to apply. The boosts let you lean into the game day instincts, whether you're back in momentum, defense, quarterback play, or coaching. The boost gives you more juice on the bets you already like instead of forcing you to bet something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boosts make your bets feel that way too. You make your picks, then apply your profit boosts to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel.com, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Welcome back to the Seahawks Squad Show. Anderson Hirsch, Chris Crawford /LOL, and Robert Turbin with you after a 41-6 victory over the Seahawks. Once again, if you're joining us currently, my voice is a little bit raspy because I was one of the 70,000 scream your face off people today, and it was awesome.
I just want to know if we broke any records.
According to I wasn't scrolling through my phone or much during the game, but according to some listeners here, they said there was some seismic activity on the Rashid Shaheed return for the touchdown, which I'm not surprised. It was loud.
Real quick, shout out to the fact that this didn't feel neutral whatsoever. Like the crowd. I mean, you saw some red. I'm sure, Anders, you saw some 49ers jerseys.
I honestly expected worse. I'm hand up. I expected worse.
And you know what?
Shout out to let the Niner fans get in there in Lumen Field.
Yep. And here's the thing. Shout out to the Seahawks too for saying, you know what? You want to sell your tickets? Hope you enjoyed having tickets, bud, because we're not doing that. We're not playing around with this stuff. For those who missed it, the Seahawks sent out for everybody they saw who has season tickets that put their tickets on the market. They said, if you're selling this to out-of-market people, we're going to review. And there's a very good chance. And with the wait list that you have for Seattle Seahawk season tickets, man, that's a hell of a threat. Hell of a threat. So good for the Seahawks for getting out in front of that. Absolutely credit to the front office for making a wonderful decision in that regard, in my personal opinion.
I love it. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, we can go down that road at a different time in terms of like what to do with your money and like, is it the
sure,
right
absolutely.
But I love the fact that Lumen Field was back tonight. It really felt like it 100%. So it was really cool to be there. That was my first playoff game live. So that was awesome.
I like
I had a really good time. I like the link, like Turbo says. Yes, perfect. Let's talk about K9, man. And Turbo, I just want to get your thoughts because, man alive, going into this season, he was going on his last year. There's still probably question marks whether he's going to be a Seahawk next year. But when you needed him the most, Charbonnet goes down with the injury. It was still like, I think, a 10-point game at that point. It was so good today. And he wasn't second guessing anything. He was hitting every single hole. He had that burst to him as well. Like, just talk about how good K9 was today.
Well, you said it, Anders. I mean, it just comes down. I mean, this game got me worn out.
Yeah, me too, bro.
It comes down to his decisiveness, though.
Yeah.
And look, I don't know if it was a result of the fact that the Seahawks had so much momentum and the game was just going in the Seahawks' direction the entire time. But when he got the ball, it was just like, I'm going this way. Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm cutting back. I'm bouncing to the outside. I'm through the lane. And it was just like, yo, come get me if you can. And the 49ers just could not.
Right.
And I think I saw something on Twitter that said that he was the first back since Sean Alexander to score 3 touchdowns in a playoff game for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Marshawn never scored 3 touchdowns.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
But you know, he was decisive, man. If he could just continue to do that throughout his career, he's going to continue to be great. I don't know if he'll be a Seahawk next year.
Yeah.
You know, really I think we would all love it.
Yes.
You know, him and Zach Charbonnet, they found something.
Yep.
You know, but at the end of the day, in terms of tonight, his decisiveness is what separated him.
Yeah, Chris, how much of it was Zach Charbonnet, K9, and how good he was versus how much credit do you give the offensive line? There were some big holes, and they were just pushing guys off the line of scrimmage all night long.
I mean, you can't take away credit from any of it. And it wasn't just the offensive line tonight. It was the tight ends. And then Robbie Oots played a really good football game tonight, too. On those pitch plays in particular, Oots' ability to get out and kick, that was really impressive. And they clearly found something with the stretch play and those and running outside and letting K9 find that hole and then burst. But there were holes that I have not seen today in a long time. Like, there were gaps, and you have to give a ton of credit to. Now, Charles Cross leaves this game. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He was questionable with a foot. We'll have to see. I bet you the scoreboard played some factor there, like, hey, we're up by a bunch of scores. Let's make sure that you're all right. Hopefully Charbonnet okay as well. It'd be great to have him. And he had a couple of nice runs today as well. But there were just massive holes, and credit to K9 for finding them. And then when he did get touched, finding that ability to not go down from the first tackler. And that's something that Kenneth Walker has been elite at for a long time, right? Like, you can't, the first guy very rarely gets him. He forced more missed tackles last year in the PFF era than any other running back. But tonight, it was a lot of just untouched and take advantage of being really fast, really fast. That catch he makes on the wheel route, the throw down the sideline, that catch he makes, that's a really tough play. By the way, not only was he the first Seahawk to get 3 touchdowns, he was the first Seahawk to have 100 yards rushing in a playoff game since Thomas Rawls. Thomas Rawls. You guys remember that game against the Lions in
like
2000 redacted?
I actually don't remember.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, man.
Thomas Rawls rushed for 100 yards in a playoff game.
Yeah, against the Lions. Yes, sir. It was when everybody. Yeah, it was really impressive. But boy, that's a long time ago. And
was Aaron Glenn the defensive coordinator?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
I think he might have been.
It was like 2016, right?
Job?
Yeah. Ooh, I can't remember now.
Okay. I'll look it up. Like, keep going.
Please do. Please do. But like,
yeah.
That was a really impressive effort. And it was, a lot of people criticize Kenneth Walker for he dances too much. He dances. And what I've always said to that, you would dance too if Christian Haynes and Anthony Bradford at his worst was blocking for you, right? Like you would be toe tapping yourself and like doing your very best to not go down if you had those guys in front of you. Today, it was just such a cohesive unit. The holes were there were so many of those. Turbo, you tell me what those plays are called, because I guess they're stretch plays, but where you're in shotgun and the play is designed to go outside and then to make that cut. But there were so many 8 to 9 yard runs where he got that opportunity and was just a special running back. I get it sometimes with the criticism. Can't criticize anything they did tonight. And the offensive line and the tight ends, Saubert was so good. AJ Barner was so good. And another shout out to Robbie Oots, man. They must have seen something they really liked with lead blockers tonight, because he was fantastic getting those eyes. You brought that up, Turbo. Those eyes for him. Terrific game from the whole unit.
Yep. Terrell Austin was the DC during that.
Okay.
I think he's in Pittsburgh now, actually. Terrell
Austin. Gotcha. Yeah. So that's a little throwback. 2016 was the year.
Yes.
2017 playoffs, but 2016 was the year. So that was a time. Were you in Indianapolis by that point, Turbo?
I led the team in touchdowns that season.
Bingo! I knew it.
Go Colts. Go Colts. Just for this time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And shout out to one of our rivals, but Frank Gore, who I grew up a fan of, obviously being from the Bay Area, but he taught me a lot. He basically, I was under his wing, man. He took me under his wing, and I led the team in touchdowns that year. It was my best year, one of my best years of my career because of him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great guy to learn from, right?
Little side thing, yeah.
No,
like he was like one of those guys that like I'm like, whoa. First of all, I'm like, whoa, I'm teammates with Frank Gore. Like, I remember both times that I was remember Candlestick Park when it was still a stadium?
Yeah.
And I remember being in junior high, elementary, and where I was sitting in Candlestick Park watching Frank Gore, And so it was kind of crazy, like being teammates with him. So like I just did everything he did. It's kind of, I know we're kind of getting off, but like when he would always go out to practice an hour before it started. So I did too. So he was on the field an hour before practice. Me too. He was in the ice tub. Me too. He was in the weight room. I just followed him. He could barely go to the bathroom. Wait at the door, goddammit. What's next?
Yeah. Like,
and it ended up me leading the team in touchdowns that season. That's how great of a teammate it was being with Frank Gore in 2016. That's crazy. I don't think I ever told you guys that.
That's great. By the way, shout out Frank Gore, and also have never felt.
And I hope he gets in the Hall of Fame. He's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame this year, right?
He should absolutely.
Has the decision been made yet, or what?
No, it'll be made the week before the Super Bowl. So we should find out.
Hopefully he gets in, man.
one of the oldest I've ever felt in my entire life is seeing Frank Gore Jr. on NFL rosters. Like, that just makes me feel, I mean, this makes me feel old, but seeing Frank Gore Jr. in the NFL is a real, oh, you're not going to live forever, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as our chat is pointing out in the live stream here on YouTube, by the way, thank you for those who are with us live. Thank you for those who are listening to us after the fact as well. After a Seahawks 41-6 victory over the 49ers, they're going to play it in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 2015. Over 10
What
years.
are they saying? What are they saying? Are they
Zach Charbonnet is awaiting imaging on his knee, but the Seahawks believe that his knee remains structurally intact.
Okay.
So hopefully just a sprain of some kind with the knee on that one. But it's we'll still kind of wait to see what kind of goes on there. But this is why you have a two-headed monster, right?
Right. And this is also a nice thing about getting an extra day of rest, you know,
Yes.
like the ability that you're able to rest some guys. But I would hashtag not a doctor, but it seems hard for me to imagine that he'll play next week.
Yeah.
But the way Kenneth Walker played, and shout out to Velus Jones, you know, shout out to him for getting a chance to get some touches late. Shout out to Drew Jeezy, as we like to call him, on getting a chance to play as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuries, man, it kind of sucks for the Broncos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my
Second to last play of the game.
Second to last play. Phillip Rivers, get ready. They're gonna call you. They're gonna call you. Drew Brees, they're gonna call you, man. They're not relying on Jarrett Stidham. I guarantee it. They're gonna be making some phone calls.
They shouldn't
It's
be
over,
there
bro.
anyway. Let's be
It's
completely
over.
honest.
It's over.
Let's be completely honest. It should have been the Bills, but
Yeah,
it should have been the Bills.
yeah,
Could've been.
it should have been the Bills. Anyways, that's the AFC. We're not worried about that. Okay, I do want to touch on the other NFC game, though, on the other side of this break. I want to know who you guys want. Do you want the Rams or do you want the Bears?
Okay.
And then I'm going to get back to Turbo's question regarding the defense. All that coming up on the Seahawks Squad Show. This episode's brought to you by PrizePicks. Whether you're starting a new routine or jumping into player projections for the very first time, trying something new can feel like a challenge. But with PrizePicks, it's always good to be right. With high-pressure football matchups every weekend and elite hoops options almost every night, the action never slows down, and PrizePicks lets you stay in control. PrizePicks is the daily fantasy app that makes watching sports even more exciting by letting you build lineups based on player projections. No drafts, no waiting, just pick more or less and play your way. Getting started on PrizePicks is super quick and simple. The app is super easy to navigate. It makes watching games more exciting, especially when following individual player performances. I love the flexibility options like FlexPlay, where you can still get paid even if one pick misses. As someone who's a big fantasy fan myself, I love following my fantasy team during the regular season. Obviously, it's not the regular season anymore. You can kind of still have your own quote-unquote fantasy team with PrizePicks here in the playoffs. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. That's LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Welcome back, Seahawks Squad Show. After a Seahawks dub at home, Lumen Field. You guys were awesome tonight. 41-6 over the San Francisco 49ers. They move on to the NFC Championship game, which will also be at Lumen Field, no matter who you face. But the opponent is awaiting to be confirmed as the Chicago Bears host the Los Angeles Rams tomorrow. Is it the evening game, I want to say? Maybe it's the afternoon game.
No, it's the morning game, and it is supposed to be which expletive cold during that football game. So
who do you guys want? Who do you want to face? Now that we can start talking about that, let's do it. Turbo, who do you want to face?
The Rams.
You want the Rams?
Hell yeah, because what's his name? Stafford, bruh. Listen, he hella trash against pressure.
Yeah.
He trash, bro.
Wow. Talking trash, the probable MVP. That's wild.
Whatever.
Yeah.
If he win the MVP, that's just BS, okay? And I was going to say the real word, but I'm going to be respectful.
Good. Well done. Good job.
But let me tell you something, bro. First of all, he can't throw the ball against pressure. That's number one. Number two, I think the one, I don't want to call it a weakness because the Seahawks really haven't seen it yet this season.
Yeah.
Okay. They haven't played against a running quarterback, not a mobile quarterback.
Two different things.
Brock Purdy is mobile.
Yep.
Caleb Williams
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
Okay? He can run. All right? That's a little bit different. It's a little different wrinkle.
He's explosive.
Now-
He can rip a 60-yard game. Yeah, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And so I think that creates a little bit of a different challenge
Yeah.
than what the Seahawks have seen all season.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have the Rams because we know the Rams. They're a good football team. They got some playmakers and everything like that. But at the end of the day, they ain't good enough to beat us.
Mm.
The Bears, I don't think the Bears are good enough to beat the Seahawks either.
Sure.
But they have these nuances that
Yeah.
are different than what the Seahawks have seen this season. Name a running quarterback the Seahawks have seen this whole year. You can't.
No.
You
I
can't.
guess Cam Ward, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Hell no.
No, yeah, he's just not. He's
Hell no.
the athleticism Williams has is different than any
Tennessee
quarterback
Titans
they
are
face.
trash, bro.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Right? No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No, I get
No, I'm with you. I actually
think
agree.
The Bears bring a different element
Yeah.
Sure.
what the Seahawks have seen this season. So I'd rather put the Rams because we know the Rams. They're a good team. No disrespect, but not good enough to beat us.
Yeah, it's weird, Chris. I'm gonna get to you in just a second, but I feel the vast majority of Seahawks fans, whether they want the Rams or don't want the Rams, it's because they view the Rams as the second best team in the NFC. Turbo is kind of putting it out there like he thinks the Bears are a better team. Is that the case, Turbo?
I do think the Bears are a better team. I think they're more complete than the Rams are.
Yeah.
Right now. The thing about the Bears is that they just don't have like that first quarter to fourth quarter mentality yet. You know?
Yep.
It's like they're a second half team.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, but they find ways to win games. To me, the Rams feel like they're more complete, but and honestly, I'll be honest, I think they're gonna win the game. I think they're gonna beat the Bears. Yeah. But I would rather play the Rams than the Bears in this matchup. It's all about matchups in the playoffs now.
Totally.
It's all about matchups.
So
I'd rather have the Rams matchup.
Okay, Chris, do you feel the same way then?
So I'd really like to answer this after watching the game because, man, the Rams have looked cheeks for the last few weeks, man. They were terrible. They on
the outside. They cheeks.
Yeah, they really struggled against the Panthers. They really struggled against the Cardinals for the overwhelming majority of that game.
Yep,
they lost to the Falcons. They were terrible in the second half against the Seahawks. I would like to see how they look. Here's the other thing, too. We talked about redemption arcs. And, you know, the Seahawks don't have like a ton of redemption to get us against the Rams. They've lost a couple playoff games against them. But imagine a Seahawks season where you win the Super Bowl and you beat the 49ers, the Rams, and the Patriots. Imagine a Super Bowl where you beat those three teams. Imagine how good that feels, right?
Or even
now, I will say this. Yeah. There is also a personal thing for me. The Seahawks have lost 2 playoff games against the Bears. They were in Chicago, but one of them is one of the more difficult ones for me. This is like before you were like 9 years old at this one, Anders, but the year after they went to the Super Bowl, they get the fortunate bounce to Tony Romo play, right? And they go to Chicago and they lose to the Bears in overtime.
Rex Grossman. Don't they go to the Super Bowl that year?
The Bears go to the Super Bowl that year. Yeah. I have almost no doubt the Seahawks win the Super Bowl if they beat that Bears team, and they should have won that game. That one has stuck in my craw. A pun kind of intended for my last name for a while. I'd love to get revenge there. I would love
Okay.
But I got to tell you, if we're talking about which team I think is the better team, I do think the Bears are playing better football right now. Yeah. And I'll say this. I also would like to see what can Ben Johnson do against a defense like this, because I think that guy's an offensive mastermind too. I love his play calling. I love his aggressiveness.
Yep.
And Caleb Williams, I think, has something special about him. Like, I don't know if I've seen a better throw than the 4th and 8 to Roman Dunze in that game against the Packers. I really don't. Like, that is perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection. And the Seahawks just haven't faced a quarterback like that this year. All due respect to Max Brosmer. The Seahawks have gotten, I don't want to say lucky, but they've been fortunate outside of the 2 games against Stafford, right?
Yeah. And Brock Purdy.
And Brock Purdy. And to Turbo's credit, he's right. If you get pressure on Stafford, he is not even close to athletic enough to make those plays. If you can bottle up Puka, maybe we can get Puka on a Joe Rogan podcast or something like that and get him real distracted. Like, I just feel like I want to beat the Rams, though. I want to beat the Rams. I want to win 2 out of 3. He already did. That's true. I'll just say this. Neither team scares me. And if I was Vegas, I'd make the Seahawks 6-point favorites against either team. I would make the Seahawks 6-point favorites against either team. I just believe in this defense so much. But I keep thinking about that. Beat the 49ers. Beat the 49ers to not allow them to win the division.
Yep.
Beat the 49ers to eliminate them from the playoffs.
Yep.
Beat the Rams to keep them from going to the Super Bowl. Beat the Patriots to keep them from winning the Super Bowl. Is that not like top-notch stuff that you draw up? That's that DVD. If people still made DVDs of seasons, that DVD would be worn out from me watching it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I just think it could be special stuff. But either way, the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. Just mark it down right now.
Okay. That's some confidence right there.
It is.
That's deep. Yeah.
All right, Turbo, I'm coming back to you regarding your question about the defense.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect way to end this podcast and this post-game show with the defense because of it's just so dominant. It's the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone still loves the Texans, and when they ask, like, the Texans are the best defense in the NFL, no, they're not, guys. They are just straight up not. It's this Seahawks team. But, Turbo, what were you going to ask us about the defense?
Well, I just think that the one thing that maybe gets left out, okay, and I was going to ask you guys about this, okay? So we were talking about the Bills, okay? The Bills are a great team. They're a good team. They're a good team. Good team, maybe not great, all right?
Sure.
One of the areas that has fallen off is defense, and that's really ever since Leslie Frazier left.
Yeah.
And guess where he is?
Yeah.
Where's he at? Where is Leslie Frazier at? Oh my God. He's in Seattle.
Yep.
He's in, and I just wonder how much of an impact is he making on this team defensively with Mike McDonald?
I don't think you can overstate it, Turbo. And I talked about this at the end of a couple of episodes that we did this year, that we did not shout out Leslie Frazier nearly enough. I believe the very first hire that Mike McDonald made when he was head coach was hiring Leslie Frazier to be assistant head coach. And, I know that everybody likes to go with the young guy for an NFL head coach. Leslie Frazier should get a shot to coach in the NFL again as a head coach if he wants it, because I think he's a huge part of what they do in terms of just like keeping everything calm and composure. You always look at Leslie Frazier and he always just looks like they could be up 40, they could be down 40, and it's the same. He believes in what they're doing, man. And, shout out to Dirty, shout out to a bunch of guys who are helping this unit. But the most underrated of these guys is Leslie Frazier by a long shot.
I love that thought because I stand up. I completely forgot about him. I did. I did. And Chris brought it up a couple times. I remember it was like mid-season, I want to say. Yeah. When they were really starting to hit their stride defensively, and you mentioned that in Turbo. It's a great point with the Bills. I didn't think about that either because I was asking myself today, isn't Sean McDermott a defensive guy? Why is the weak link of his team the defense?
That's a great question.
I don't know. And it's because I think a lot of it is because maybe you don't have the Jimmys and the Joes as well. But when you lose a guy like Leslie Frazier, who is that big of an influence, and we just talked about how good this team and how well coached they are. A lot of that's Mike McDonald, no question about it. He's the head coach, he's the guy. But having someone with the experience and professionalism as Leslie Frazier, who's been in this league for as long as he has, it can't hurt. It absolutely cannot hurt this team, and I think it's helping more than a lot of people realize. So I love that shout out.
I'll say this too. Like, I'm watching Kevin Stefanski get another chance to be an NFL coach. I'm watching these guys, and all due respect, Kevin Stefanski won 11 games with the Browns twice, which, hey, like, how is Leslie Frazier? And maybe it's because Leslie Frazier's just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a head coach. I'm 66 years old. I'm comfortable. Yeah. But like, that would be a guy I'd be trying to get.
Yeah.
That would be the guy I would be trying to get at the very least. That's a guy I want being my defensive coordinator. Yes. I would be doing what I can, but I think Leslie Frazier is so comfortable with what he's doing here and well compensated and all that stuff. But I'm so glad you brought him up, Turbo. That is one of the better defensive minds and one of the better football coaches in the National Football League.
Yeah. And I don't know him personally, but I've heard nothing but good things about him as a person too. So that's awesome. Any last words, Turbo? Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh no, man! Just great game,
Yeah.
and I really think that, like, look, I'm looking at the playoff teams, and obviously you don't want to count anybody out, and I'm excited to see what happens, what happens tomorrow, particularly in the NFC. But I just it's hard for me to see anyone taking down the Seahawks at this particular time. The only team that I thought would be able to take the Seahawks down were the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now that they've been eliminated, it's like, to me, it's just like, we're getting ready to get our second ring, you guys. Oh. And so keep those vibes riding high. But it's been exciting to watch so far this year.
I love it. Chris, anything to add?
Just because I missed the start of the show, DeMarcus Lawrence was phenomenal again today. Just absolutely phenomenal. Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, Julian Love hopping on that football.
Ernest Jones, another two freaking picks.
Yeah, I mean, like, this defense is just special. And sure, a lot of it is the coaching. A lot of it is the schemes. Got to give a ton of credit to the players, obviously, too, man. You have to give a ton of credit for guys being in the right position and making the plays when they're in front of them, right? Yeah. They kept everything in front of them today. Yep. You hold Christian McCaffrey, and I know he has a shoulder injury, blah, blah, blah. You hold him to 35 yards after holding him to what? It was like 23 yards or something like that in the previous game. Just a special defensive unit, and it's so fun. And just a real quick thing, guys, like, no, this isn't the ultimate goal. No, winning a divisional round isn't it. You can still savor moments like this. Absolutely. You can still savor winning by 35 against your biggest rival. You can still savor, if you were lucky enough to go to the game like Anders you were, those are moments that you should have ingrained in your head. This is fun stuff. And just because it's not the ultimate goal doesn't mean that you can't appreciate the journey to the destination. Totally. This was fun. And I hope everybody just had whether you were watching it at a bar, whether you're watching it with your family, whether you were at the game, whatever. I just hope everybody had a really good time and appreciates wins like this because they don't come around all that often.
Yeah. Someone in the chat appreciate the correction. Ernest Jones had one pick, one forced fumble, but
one forced fumble.
Two turnovers.
What a loser.
Yeah. Right. All pro snub, Ernest Jones. Yeah. But I want to echo what Chris said because I'm just going to end it with this. You guys, we just ended the 49ers season.
Yeah.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
I still think that Shanahan should be coach of the year, though. I really do. I
totally get it. I totally get it, especially because that's a regular season award. Yep. And to win 12 games with McCorkle Jones and with, the injury to injury to Bosa, the injury to Fred Warner.
I've never heard that. That's actually funny.
I got to tell you too.
Funny. That is
Fred Warner, one of the very best football players in the sport, future Hall of Famer, no question about it.
Yeah.
But did you guys see? You probably didn't see this, Anders. He went down to the sideline after it was 17-0, and he was trying to fire those guys up. Right? He was trying to get into him, and it meant nothing. It did nothing. It did nothing.
And I have to admit,
yeah,
I don't know if he's I mean, like, no disrespect, please.
Yeah.
The Niner fans, relax.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Fred Warner is.
He's not Bobby Wagner. I'm telling you that right now.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're talking about. I don't know yet. You still got to do some more stuff. Bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. But whatever.
And then real quick, we talked about it. Like, I think I've probably been harder on Anthony Bradford than anybody on this show. And he did on the third and short, he got blown the F up on a run to Charbonnet. And, you know, I got mad. Anthony Bradford is the Nick Cage of guards. When it's bad, it's really bad. But when it's good, it's really freaking good. And for the rest of the game, Anthony Bradford was excellent. Excellent. Shout out to Jalen Sundell, the entire offensive line. I know we talked about it earlier, but like, how many times have we just, you know, we weren't doing the show then, but like, just, you know, whating about this offensive line for weeks, right? They were a strength tonight. They are one of the biggest reasons, outside, of course, this defense, that you're going to play in the NFC Championship game next week. Let's go.
Yep. First time since 2015, Seahawks win against the 49ers 41-6. They're going to go to the NFC Championship game and play either the Bears or the Rams. I'm with you guys. I'm not scared of either of them. I think they win that game pretty handily, especially if Lumen's like as rocking as it was tonight. My
bonkers.
God, it's going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
But like Chris said, savor these moments. These are awesome wins. It's not the end goal, but you can still absolutely enjoy this. Well done, 12s. You guys deserve it. You guys have been with us all year long. Really appreciate it. If you're new for this episode, also really appreciate it. However you consume us, we'll be back to preview an NFC Championship game later this week. That's awesome. That's really exciting, guys. We ended the 49ers season. Go Hawks. Talk to you guys later. Bye 49ers. Have a good off season. Have fun in Cancun.